Welcome to the season finale of the Pro Gamers Guide podcast. My name is Brian Saviano. I go by Bricks O'Brien here and across the internet. As always, this program was brought to you by the wonderful supporters of Pro Gamers Guide to Healthy Habits on Kickstarter, of which, without your support, none of this would have happened. So thank you once again for all your support all along the way. And as we close out on season 1 of the show, we're definitely ending on a high note. Our guest today has some of the highest levels of energy I've ever seen on any live stream or reaction video ever. And quite frankly, she makes me look like a stick in the mud. Between sharing her love of Mario and Sonic with her community on Twitch and across the internet, I'm happy to bring on content creator Jess Adel as the final guest for season 1 of the Pro Gamers Guide podcast. Just Jess, as indicated by the many S's in your name, you are a family-friendly content creator across all the platforms of the internet, especially on Twitch, and probably the #1 Sonic fan across all the multiverses. How are you?
Oh my God. Do I deserve that title? I don't know. I'm good though. How are you?
I'm great. You do, because whenever I've gone into anybody else's content on any platform, like Sonic has always been this or pain point or whatever because of the inconsistency with the franchise, and like your excitement just beams off of the web page as I'm watching you talk about whatever Sonic thing pops up.
So nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'd say you'd earn it, but that's just a short summary from me. So for someone who may not know who you are or what you do, what is the elevator pitch for Just Jess?
I mean, I would say I just love Nintendo, and Sonic is also a little exception that's adopted into the family. Love everything Super Mario. I'm a big fan of platformers in general, but yeah, just living the Nintendo Sonic life. We keep it positive. It's all about the hype and the love, but I'm always honest. So I'm not just like giving you false hype. That is not the vibe. It's just I happen to be a positive person. But nah, if something is iffy, I will talk about it. I'll call it out.
Yeah, that transparency is super important, and that's something I feel like that can happen a lot. They come off that overly positive way, and there's a difference between forcing it and then being genuinely positive about a topic. So when I'm watching what you do on Twitch, I get the feeling that it is authentic and genuine. You convey that accurately. It is very different from the cynicism I have from dealing with the bozos in my Discord and Twitch chat. So it's a good, refreshing pace to go into your stream when I raid out into you as you're playing Mario Kart.
You are too kind. Seriously, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, of course. So you've been making content on Twitch, YouTube, and across the internet for how long?
I feel like I opened my YouTube channel about 10 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Isn't that actually insane? That's so long. Like, what the heck?
People like us who've been doing this for over 10 years would be considered like old, withered, and gray in internet years.
I guess. I mean, I was just doing it for fun when I started, so it wasn't like, I'm a YouTuber. I was just like, I want to record the funny things that happen to me when I play games. That's literally why I started my channel. Like, every time I'd play any games with friends, funny things would always happen. Just weird stuff would happen. Like, we'd break the game, weird glitches, or just funny inside jokes and things. And I wanted to capture the moment they were born, because like I grew up playing games with everybody. We'd make a lot of references to moments that would happen. Like something as dumb and simple as like, let's say you're playing Mario Party and you're picking your character and they're like, good choice. Like just like it's so dumb. We're such kids. But like I always thought that sort of thing is so funny. And then like in a regular everyday conversation, you just bust out the good choice and like, so from the moment that it happens and you're like, that stands out and that's kind of funny and weird. Like, I just wanted to capture those moments. So that's really how it started. Did not think anything of it.
Well, I feel like the exact reason why so many people start in the first place. It comes from a place of not wanting to, cash in on billion-dollar deals and become famous or notable or whatever. It comes from that place of, let me share these moments with people and see what people think. You are a living example of that, and what I encourage to anybody who wants to start making videos or live streams or podcasts or anything, that passion for wanting to do it is going to outshine your desire for fame and clout and all this stuff that I feel like can get in the way, especially with social media. So
Yes.
You set a good example for the next generation of creators.
I mean, that's like the best advice you could give anybody. Like, if you just love video games, just whatever type of content you are making, make it because you love it and it's fun. Like, you can't expect that something's gonna happen, like you're gonna grow really big or whatever. But if your heart's in the right place, you never know it can happen. So just have fun. Like, for me, it was just a hobby. So just do that.
And you've done experiences that go outside of like the Twitch and YouTube realm where that fandom has kind of transformed into opportunities as a professional who's done this for a long time. I know, for example, you've been to Super Nintendo World recently, which is
Yeah.
super exciting and I am incredibly jealous of, but we're not going to go there.
Aw.
We're not going to go there. And then you've also been on the blue carpet for the Sonic 2 premiere?
Oh, yeah. It's so wild, dude. Like, I literally have no idea how these things happened. I genuinely, like, I'm still, like, when you called me a professional, I'm like, what? Like, I don't feel like a professional. I just feel like a human in the world just doing things. And, like, somehow these things are happening and it's so cool and I'm unbelievably honored and grateful. It's really mind-blowing. But yes, I don't get it, but thank you. Shout out Sega and shout out Universal Studios / Nintendo for inviting me to really cool things. My God.
I'll say what makes you a professional because this is actually something I haven't talked about with any other guests, and I kind of
Oh.
I was the one who like knighted everyone as a professional in my head when I look toward other people, and it's because what makes a professional from a rookie, in my opinion, is the willingness to grow and adapt and work toward making the thing, whatever the thing is in the context, better. So, your live streams and the Just experience is probably different from how it was back in 2012 or 2013, I assume, right?
I mean, I guess so. But you grow as a person. I don't know. I've just been doing it for so long, so I don't know. It's not even something I've really, really thought about. Yeah, I guess I have grown and adapted a bit. I mean, I did, like, as I mentioned before, I started on YouTube. For many years now, I've had in the back of my mind, like, oh, I'd really love to try streaming. Only 2-3 years ago, I finally started consistently streaming on Twitch. And it was literally because the pandemic and the lockdown happened.
Yeah, that's a great reason to start, and you've clearly rallied a really awesome community around you that appreciates your family-friendly approach. So, something I've asked
Yes.
all the creators I've had on the show, why keep it family-friendly in the first place when so many people on Twitch are playing Destiny 2 or a Call of Duty and swearing? Why keep it PG?
Because I just am. Like, just in my real life, I just don't swear. I like that something can be for everyone. And I just am that way already. So, I mean, even sometimes I'm like, man, does this hinder my growth? Is swearing and is doing all these different things. But, like, I don't know. It just is who I am anyway at the end of the day. Every now and then people point out that they really appreciate that I am. That's awesome. Like, some people would be like, yo, my kids love your show or love your stream, whatever. And I feel comfortable letting them watch you because I know that you're family friendly. And that just means the world to me. Like, it's always shocking when I get those comments.
Yeah, that's what I have found in my experience as well. And I know from working with like family friendly brands and whatnot that they are looking for someone that falls in line with what they do. So I feel like you'd be a lot less likely to go to Super Nintendo World if you were cussing like a sailor during your Mario Kart videos and whatnot.
Maybe, I guess so. Yeah, so it works out at the end of the day. But I'm just following my heart, and it really means the world to me when people point it out and feel comfortable in the community because they know it's like a PG place.
And it means so much more since I've asked everybody on the show, like, why did you do this? And, some people say it's because of fatherhood or because, it's like a brand decision, like a conscious decision for them. But you're just, the whole process is you just following your heart, which is great. It's just great.
That's true. Yeah, I just like, I've always just felt like this little dork going around the world being way too excited and positive and PG. And guess what? I get to do it online now. And people like me for it. Yay.
So that's an extra vote of confidence for anybody listening or watching. Like what I've always told people when they're out to make content is just be yourself and allow yourself
Yes.
to be yourself. And you
Yes.
are an example of that, just letting the positivity shine through. And that's what people have appreciated you for. When you're doing your content, you know, I watching your live streams, it's you're talking about whatever Nintendo news happens, or if you happen to get sent the box from Sega or Nintendo or whatnot. The thing that I wanted to hone in on for a second that gets a little dicey depending on how people are reading the room is the meme time. You do the meme time, and sometimes I feel like the people of the chat don't understand the vibe or how it can go potentially awry. So what is meme time, and how do you go about handling it?
I never thought anyone would ever ask me about meme time. Meme time is just time to look at memes. I post on Twitter saying, hey, I'm live tonight at this time. And people in the replies will put any memes that they want to show me / the community. And first thing when I'm live, we look through those memes. You know, everything we do is family friendly. So people know that if they want to share a meme, keep it family friendly, keep it PG. But sometimes there'll be newer members, like people who just found us. That's usually how it goes. Is someone who just found us maybe doesn't get that, and they just see like a lot of video game memes. So they're like, okay, here's whatever, this video. But then there's like a lot of swearing in it, or it's like kind of inappropriate and weird. It happens every now and then, and it's kind of awkward. I put a lot of trust in our community because we were really like a genuinely tight-knit community. I say that we're a family. Like, I hate to be cheesy, but it really does feel that way. I love my community so much. I appreciate them so much. So yeah, we try our best. You know, we always let people know that we keep it PG, and sometimes things slip through the cracks.
And that level of trust is super important, especially when you're family friendly, and having the right people on and the right people to advocate for you and your community. So that kudos to you on that. Now, what about the memes that are family friendly, but they're not funny? How do you deal with the cringe memes? Do you actually find them enjoyable, or do you just kind of toss them to the side?
That's so funny. People ask me about that all the time. Like when I meet people in real life, they'll always ask, like just like a new friend, you know what I mean? Like anyone who's like, oh, you do this. Yeah, I saw that you do meme time. Like, what do you do when it's just not funny? And I don't laugh. I don't laugh. Like I said, we always keep it real. It's all about honesty. So sometimes it's not funny, and I'll just be like, I actually don't get it. And sometimes I'll ask for someone to explain it, which actually can make it funny. So yeah, like, you know, we keep it real.
I don't do meme time. Like I thought of, I'm like, would that work for me? And whenever people link something in the Discord memes, and I'm like, 99% of these aren't funny to me. So I feel like that's not going to work well for me. So I'll just let that be. That's a just Jess thing. You can have that. I'm not going to even try it.
I mean, look, you don't have to laugh, because even if it's not funny to you, it might be funny to someone in chat. So it's okay. Like, I know sometimes it feels very uncomfortable if there's a moment of silence or you're not keeping up the energy or whatever. But it's like, people don't care, because guess what? If you're just staring at the meme and you're trying to figure it out, or you don't find it funny, and there's like a little moment of silence, someone out there who's watching does find it funny, and that moment of silence is filled with laughter anyway, because they're laughing. So that's a good way to look at it. There's always that.
You maintain the positive energy with the memes as much as possible, but then that transcends into a lot of the reaction content that you've done, which has been something I think you've been known for within your circle, and they're very like the energy, like my reaction videos are like me watching and then making a comment at the end, but you are like losing your mind over Game Boy Advance games. And I'm like, I wish I had that energy to like get excited about Tetris. But what is your like favorite reaction to a thing that's happened in the past couple of years? The Mario movie or something Switch related?
Oh man. Yo, Tetris rocks, dude. How can you not get excited about Tetris? Come on. Yeah, I mean, I would say my life revolves around the Mario movie currently. Like, I pretty much have trouble thinking or remembering that anything else exists. But you did remind me that the Game Boy reveals happened recently, so that was very exciting. I really wasn't expecting that. I just know that I'm so pumped about the Mario movie. It looks seriously incredible. I am going to be sobbing like a baby in the theater. I already feel bad for whoever is sitting next to me.
I wholeheartedly agree. The way I am with like hype and excitement, I don't think about the thing until it's right about to happen before my eyes, because otherwise I'm going to be up till like 3 in the morning thinking about how excited I am, and then I lose sleep.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
So
me too. Like people ask like, "Hey, what are you excited about? What's next?" Da, da, da. And I'm like, "Bro, I'm just here right now. I don't know." Like I try not to think about stuff too much because I just want to stay as present as possible, because then I get like nervous, excited, like it messes with my energy because I'm like, "Oh my God, this many days." Like, no, 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 no. It'll happen when it happens. Chill out. Let's enjoy what we're doing right now.
did that feeling of anticipation happen upon knowing you were going to Super Nintendo World?
I didn't know up until like a few days before that I was even going, which is so crazy because let's say a month or two before, I was like, oh man, like Super Nintendo World's opening soon. I wish so bad I could go for like the opening day. How awesome would that be? But then I'm thinking, maybe I'm going to go to E3 this year. So I can't go for the opening. Also, it's going to be really crazy and busy. All of a sudden, it was like a couple weeks before, Universal reached out and was like, hey, want to come the day before it opens? I was like, what? Bro, I got that email and I just sobbed in my chair. And it was like right before a stream too. And I was like, I don't know if this is a secret or NDA or what yet, because like I kind of poked at the email. So that's how I found out. I was not ready to go. But it's funny because I had it in my calendar, like opening day. I was at Nintendo World and the alarm of like, it's opening tomorrow pops up on my phone. I'm like, man, life is crazy sometimes. I'm just so beyond grateful for the weird stuff I get to do sometimes. It's really, really cool.
You don't get to be able to go to Super Nintendo World early by accident. You've clearly like worked toward it and had a really good repertoire with either Universal or Nintendo, whatever, and it's worked out really nicely. So I am looking forward to going hopefully sooner than I
Yes.
thought, but we'll see.
You definitely need to go. Mario was literally the first game I ever played in my life. I was 4 years old and played Super Mario Bros. On the NES, and it changed my life forever. And it's so wild to think that I played that game when I was 4, and now it's so many years later, and I'm standing in front of a physical world.
Mario being part of your entire life from especially the very beginning makes it even more interesting that you are such a big Sonic fan, and one of the
Hey.
only like big Sonic fans I personally know, or at least know of on the internet. So what is the gravitation toward the Sonic franchise in general, as opposed to the typical general public who's more Mario and Legend of Zelda? What makes Sonic special to you?
I mean, have you ever played the Sonic games on the Sega Genesis?
You know, I haven't actually, so maybe that's
That
part of the
explains
problem.
everything. There it is. That's it. Like, bro, all you have to do is play Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and you'll just understand. The character himself is his own thing. Like, just the aesthetic, the literal design of this blue spiky dude with red shoes and the attitude, like, it gets you. My first Sonic game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and also I was like probably 5 the first time I played a Sonic game, and I just thought it was sick. The music, the level design, like literally going from Emerald Hill Zone into Chemical Plants into Casino Night Zone. And a lot of it is the music too. It's just everything comes together. Oh man, dude, you gotta play Sonic 2 now. I can't believe you've never played a Sonic game, or especially Sonic 2.
Well, you know, I've played Mania, I've played Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Origins, I think. Like I've played Sonic games, but my mind works in 3D as opposed to 2D. So even 2D Mario games, I'm just like the physics of the jumping or something. I work better in 3D. So I haven't even played Sonic. I haven't played Sonic Forces or what's the new Sonic game that came out?
We don't talk about Sonic Forces.
Oh yeah, you know, there's some people that want me to play it really badly, and I'm like, listen, I'm not getting to this anytime soon.
No, don't recommend. For 3D Sonic games, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Frontiers, bless Sega for that game. Thank you for finally bringing Sonic in 3D back.
Well, I was going to ask you because I haven't played Sonic Frontiers yet, and it got, mixed, I guess, reviews across everything because of a realistic art style for the environment, and the robots are very weird, and I don't know. So did that end up turning out good? And especially from your perspective as a Sonic fan?
I can understand how it can be jarring if you have a certain expectation. But I'm like a super open-minded person. So I'm not like, this has to be a certain way because blah, blah, blah. Like they're sucked into a dimension or a world where things are just different. It makes sense that it's not Green Hill Zone and it's something a little doomier and gloomier. It's got a different energy, different vibe. And you feel that. Like I find when you play the game, it's like, hey, there's our characters that we know and love. Oh, they're like sucked into this thing and they're somewhere else and they don't know where they are. And like you feel the mystery. Sonic feels and plays right in the open world areas. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And then as soon as you get into 2D sections, 2D stages, it felt like, man, what are you using? Not loving whatever engine this is running on. I think it might have been the same as Sonic Forces, which is a true shame because the gravity just isn't right in Sonic Forces. So I did not enjoy that part.
So would you say that is your favorite Sonic game of all time, or where
No.
does that rank?
It's like really up there, which is incredible after so many years of a lot of misses, a lot of struggling for Sonic.
That's a nice way to put it.
We keep it positive.
Right, of course.
But yeah, like I would say Sonic 2, 3, and Knuckles, those are the top tier forever in my eyes. I got a huge soft spot for Sonic Adventure 2. Love. I know it has its issues, but truly I would say that's still the best purely 3D Sonic game.
You must have been super relieved considering how Sonic has unfolded over the past couple years and what Sega has been able to do, that the movies were such a slam dunk across the board and done with so much care. I couldn't imagine your reaction to those.
It really, when the movies started coming out, it was a beam of light and hope finally shining upon the Sonic community. It really was. Because, like, they cared. These people who made the movies really cared. They did an incredible job. Just having little bits of the soundtrack. We definitely wanted more. Like, give us more Sonic soundtracks into the movie world. And they're definitely, like, making their way into it. But they're doing the characters such justice. Like, the first movie was, like, a beautiful segue, like this little transition into like, okay, look, it's a movie, but also, ooh, a little bit of Sonic references, hee hee hee. But the second one was practically a love letter. That was the turning point of there's hope for Sonic now. And then Frontiers came out and it was like, yes! And I had my fingers crossed so hard. I'm like, please don't mess this up. Please, we're on a roll right now. Please, please, please. And yeah, I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so with Detective Pikachu, it really set like a standard for this is how a video game movie should go. It can't just be a studio getting the license for it and making a whatever movie. It has to involve either the people that originally made the game or like the amount of love, care, and consideration to make it something more, and really kicks Nintendo's butt into high gear when teaming up with Illumination for the Mario movie. And now everything about it has been, oh my goodness, this is a perfect Mario movie in every capacity ever. Like all the references and the new things are bringing in the old things, and it's just like it meshes all seamlessly together. So it is a wonderful time to be a video game movie fan.
Yes, it really is, man. Oh, it's just so nice to see after all these years. So now they get it, and we're starting to get really good content. And yes, thank you to Detective Pikachu for getting us on the right path. I wouldn't say that movie was perfect, but it was solid. And yeah, it's just been going up from there.
I like to ask everybody who is on the show a couple of basic questions because they're always questions that people ask me. So you kind of alluded to it earlier with Sonic 2 or 3, but what is your favorite video game of all time?
Oh, man. Don't do this to me. I don't know why. I feel like it's so easy for everyone to be like, this is my favorite game. And I'm like, how do you do that? I feel like it's almost based off my mood. Sometimes I just get more excited about certain things. I don't know. I would say my general go-to answer is probably Super Mario Bros. 3.
Wow, okay.
It is. Wow. Wait, what was that reaction? Hold on.
Well, because, you're all big on Sonic and you played Sonic as a kid, and then I don't know.
Well,
like
I played both.
Well, that's fair. And then you like the 3D stuff a lot, right? So I would have thought Sonic Adventure 2 or 1, but then you caught me completely off guard here with Mario Brothers 3.
I'm telling you, I'm a big Mario person. I really am.
Well, that's solidified. So it's Super Mario Brothers 3. I know you're a very positive person. You like keeping it wholesome, but I ask everybody these questions, okay? What is your least favorite game of all time?
I don't know. Like, I can't think of that off the top of my head, probably. Give me some examples. What do you not like? What's your worst game or least favorite game?
So one of the games I definitely do not want to play for a variety of reasons. I will watch the show version of this, even though it's not family friendly, is like The Last of Us Part 2. Because that came out at the peak of like the lockdown, and it's a super depressing game. And already during a time where everybody's already very down about them, say, hey, let me watch this and play this story about these awful things happening to people all the time. I'm like, I'll pass on it. So that'd be one for me.
But so if you happen to not play it during a devastatingly difficult time in our human existence, would you maybe have enjoyed it more?
My life is a devastating result of things unfolding at any given time. So
you poor thing.
that's why I play Mario and Pokemon. It's like I got enough sad things in my life. I'll just focus on the happy things with a plumber jumping and another plumber hunting ghosts and call it a day. I've been fairly, I guess, dissatisfied with Pokemon, I'd say recently, only because I'm at an age now where I've witnessed in my lifetime all 1,000 Pokemon, and it seems like they're just releasing a big game for the sake of it. And I personally am having a less emotional attachment to here's 6 new characters they introduced to the story, and then they're going to be forgotten about by the time the DLC comes out, and then whatever. So I'm finding it hard to relate in that regard to Pokemon, but Piplup is still my favorite Pokemon of all time. I got a Lego version built of him in my background. So,
but Brian, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Oh, you're one of those people. Okay, it's just the journey, Brian. That's
you're playing a game. You're supposed to enjoy the game that you're playing while you're playing it. So I don't know, man. I think there's something you need to work on there, maybe? I don't know. It's just the way that you described it. I'm just looking out.
I play the game because if I don't, then there's going to be 5 people in my chat that pester the heck out of me until I finally play Roblox or Cuphead or finish Skyward Sword.
I've learned something that you can do to help with that. Because you got to keep it real, dude. You got to do what makes your heart happy at the end of the day. So if there's just 5 people bothering you, that's not that many people. So what you do in your Twitch chat, you make a command. No, we don't ban. No, maybe timeout. No, just kidding. So what you can do is, let's say people are bothering you about Cuphead DLC or something. So you make a command in your chat, !Cuphead. So if they see anybody be like, hey, Brian, why haven't you played the new Cuphead? Immediately, one of the homies are going to drop the !Cuphead, and a message will pop up saying, no, Brian has not played Cuphead. Please stop asking. Thank you for your understanding. Whatever message you want, it'll just explain it for you, and you never have to say anything ever again. You're welcome.
But you think Twitch chat reads Twitch chat? That's funny. I appreciate that outlook, and I definitely need a bit more optimism in my approach. It's always a work in progress. So thank you for shedding another light on that. I know the people who are my fans watching or listening are like, yeah, we've been telling this to Brian for like 5 years. So, and as we close out here today, I want to give you a chance to remind people who you are, where to find your work across the internet, and what they can look forward to watching in the near future.
My name Jess. Oh no, I made a silly reference to like my name Jeff. Anyway, for anyone who gets it, shout out to you.
Okay. That's how I know I need more coffee. Okay.
Nah, you're good. Anyway, I am just Jess on YouTube, but I'm /Jess Adel, Jess with 3 S's on everything. I stream every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch. So if you like Nintendo stuff, like just hang out with me. Nintendo stuff everywhere, all the time. Twitter, Instagram, all the things. So, if you want someone to get just pumped about anything Nintendo and Sonic, the hype is here.
So if you want the dose of cynicism, you head to Bricks O'Brien on Twitch, and then for the wholesome family fun time for real, you go over to Jess Adel over on Twitch. I'm very happy that we could do this, and
yes, me too.
You are actually the final guest on season 1 of the show.
Wow. What an honor, dude. Thank you so much for inviting me.
We didn't necessarily bring it up during the episode, but that was actually Jess's first time being on a podcast of any kind, so it means that much more that she took the time out of her very busy day to be on and talk about what it's like to be a family-friendly content creator. You can find her content on Twitch and YouTube, so make sure you're following her across all those platforms and social media like Twitter and Instagram. And just like that, man, the final episode of the Pro Gamers Guide podcast, Season 1, is in the books. Now, will there be a Season 2? Well, I certainly hope so, but I don't necessarily know when. I want to leave the door open in case I get to know more family-friendly content creators in the not-too-distant future, so here's hoping I can rally enough people together for Season 2. If there's somebody that you want me to interview on this show, get into the hot seat and ask all those burning questions, make sure you let me know by any means of the internet. I'm open to having any creator on that is a family-friendly content creator and wouldn't mind getting asked a couple questions over the course of about an hour. I can't thank you enough for all your support on these episodes of the podcast, on my book, and all the things that I do across the internet. Thank you so much. And stay tuned to even more new things from Pro Gamers Guide happening very, very soon. Go to ProGamersGuide.com for more information. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Keep on meowing it out.